Hi, and welcome back. On today's final episode of Live Pet Patrol, a series of burglaries have taken over the neighborhood. Here's our take on the latest events. It was a calm evening in the Girbellini residence when a loud crash was heard in the kitchen. When we got there, the remains of Mom's birthday cake along with a plate were found lying on the ground. After careful examination of the scene, a stray hair was found, most likely belonging to the culprit. This was taken in as evidence. But now the question remained, who ate the cake? A single witness by the name of Mittens came forward. She said she was walking past the kitchen when she heard the crash, and as she turned, she saw a dark shadow fleeing the scene. She was taken in for further questioning to confirm she was not lying. 4 other suspects were identified. Suspect 1, Mrs. Potts, the family dog and the mother of Chip. Suspect 2, Chip himself, the brand new puppy who loves to snack on anything. Suspect 3, Jerry, the neighborhood stray cat who is constantly found lurking around neighbors' houses. Finally, Suspect 4, Marie, Mom's kitten who always seeks attention. In order to confirm who our culprit was, we used a technique known as DNA fingerprinting. For this, DNA samples were taken from all 4 suspects and the witness. Then the DNA from the hair found at the scene was amplified using PCR and was put through Dell electrophoresis in order to separate the DNA fragments by size. Here, the DNA is loaded at the negative pole and migrates towards the positive end. This allows us to see the DNA fingerprint from this piece of evidence and compare it to the DNA fingerprint of the suspect's samples. The results of the Dells were the following. As you can see, we can focus on 2 loci. Looking at locus 1, the first column is that of the hair found at the crime scene. In order to be the culprit, a suspect's alleles must perfectly match those of the hair at both loci. When we look at our witness, we see that their alleles match up, therefore making them a prime suspect. When looking at suspect 1, we see that the top allele matches but the bottom one doesn't, making them innocent. Suspect's 2 alleles also match those of the hair, making them another prime suspect. For suspect 3, none of the alleles match, therefore can also be deemed innocent. Finally, suspect 4 also matches both alleles, leaving us with 1 more prime suspect. In the end, we see that our 3 prime suspects are the witness, suspect 2, and suspect 4. Now we can look into our locus 2 gel. Comparing to the alleles of the hair, we see that the witness now does not match at either allele, therefore making them innocent. Now, if we look at suspect 1, we see that both alleles line up, also making them a match. Suspect 2 also matches both alleles, making them another prime suspect. When we look at suspect 3, we see that the top allele matches but the bottom one doesn't, excluding them as a match. Finally, we see that suspect 4's alleles also do not line up with those of the hair, making them innocent. Finally, we can compare our potential matches from both loci and see who matched. The only suspect that we see who matched the alleles at both loci is suspect 2. This makes them our culprit. Alas, the truth has come out and we see that all along our culprit who ate Mom's cake was innocent little Chip. Taking a closer look at our results, we see that suspect 1 shares a band or allele, the top one, with suspect 2 in both loci. The reason for this is because suspect 1 is actually the biological parent of suspect 2, aka Mrs. Potts is Chip's mom. This is true since Chip would get 1 allele from his mom and 1 from his dad. Now that we have solved the case, the house is at peace again and Chip has apologized. Thanks for tuning in.